I am Nitish Deshpande from IIT Kanpur. Today I will present the paper titled Spectral Efficiency in Poisson Cluster-Based Heterogeneous Networks with User Base Station Correlation, co-authored by Sandeep Rotra and Abhishek Gupta from IIT Kanpur. In heterogeneous cellular networks, small cell base stations with low power are deployed in regions of high user density like railway stations, shopping malls, and residential complexes. These crowded places are termed as hotspots. Stochastic geometry is used to analyze HetNets, which model the location of users and base stations as point process. Conventionally, the users and base stations in each tier of HetNet had been modeled using independent Poisson point process. However, this model was not practical because the user and base station locations are independent. A better model was later proposed, which modeled base station and users as Poisson cluster process. This model was successful in modeling the correlation between users and base station locations. Since the inception of this model, many works on PCP-based HetNets have been published which derive analytic expressions for downlink coverage probability. However, there is limited work on characterizing per-user data rate and spectral efficiency. In this paper, we bridge this gap by deriving exact expressions for spectral efficiency. We also investigate the impact of clustering on spectral efficiency and provide several design insights. Let us first begin with definition of a PCP.
Let Xi denote the parent Poisson point process with density lambda p. In this figure, we generate a realization of a PPP with density lambda p. Now for each point Z, we associate an independent and identically distributed offspring Poisson point process chi-Z. Each cluster chi-Z consists of m IID random points S with probability density function PDF g of S with m, which follows Poisson distribution with parameter m bar. In this figure, consider the grid shown in black. Now consider the second figure, which is a zoomed in version of this black grid. Z0 is the cluster center. We now sample a number m from Poisson distribution with parameter m bar and generate m points in a ball of radius r. These daughter points are indicated by blue dots. Now repeat this process for each point z in the parent PPP. The union of all such daughter processes is denoted by phi. Hence the PCP can be specified by these three parameters: parent PPP density lambda p, distribution g, and average number of points in each cluster m bar. In this illustration, we had used G as uniform distribution and the corresponding PCP has a special name called as Manhattan cluster process. Let us now discuss the system model. We consider a HetNet model with k independent tiers where each tier can be one of the two types. In the kth micro tier, the base station locations are distributed as PPP phi k with density lambda k. On the other hand, the kth small cell tier consists of parent process Xi k with density lambda pk, denoting the center of hotspot locations. The base station locations are distributed as a PCP phi k with Xi k as the parent process. In macro tier, UE locations are also distributed as independent Poisson point process phi uk with density lambda uk. These tiers exhibit no correlation among UEs and base stations and is suitable for modeling location of pedestrians and users in transit. In small cell tiers, the UE locations are also distributed as PCP phi uk with Xi k as its parent process. Phi k and phi uk share a common parent PPP with density lambda pk. Hence, in this tier, the location of base station and UEs are correlated. However, we assume that conditioned on Xi k, phi k and phi uk are independent. We follow these notations in our paper. The users in macro tiers are called T1 users and those in small cell tiers are called T2 users. Index set of macro tiers is K1 and that of small cell tiers is K2.
Now consider the following illustration. The gray squares with black dot denote the macro tier base station and the small black dots denote the small cell tier base station. The small cell tier base station form a Poisson cluster process. The small red dots are the user locations. Here the term typical user means an arbitrarily chosen user location. In this realization, the T1 users are distributed as an independent Poisson point process. Now consider the case of T2 users. In this figure, you can observe that the PCP of both users and small cell tier base stations share a common cluster center generated from the same underlying parent PPP.
Let us now discuss the propagation model. We assume the standard single slope path loss model with alpha as the path loss exponent. Further, we assume Rayleigh fading with coefficient h Therefore, for a link between UK and a base station at x, hx is an exponential random variable with parameter 1. We assume open access for users and average received power based association, which means a user connects to a base station providing the maximum average received power regardless of its tier. The location of serving base station is denoted as x star, and x tilde k is the closest base station of the kth tier. If x star equals x tilde I, it implies that the serving base station belongs to ith tier, and this association event is denoted by SI. Given SI, the signal to interference plus noise ratio SINR of the typical user is given by equation 3, where PS denotes the power received from the serving base station, N0 is noise power, and I denotes the power from all interfering links, which include all base stations other than the serving base station.
We now define spectral efficiency. Spectral efficiency is the expected value of log to the base E 1 plus SINR. It is measured in NATS per second per hertz. It denotes the achievable data rate per unit bandwidth for a typical user. It also represents the average cell throughput under orthogonal access and round-robin scheduling. For computing spectral efficiency, we use the well-known Hamri's lemma, which expresses the spectral efficiency in terms of the Laplace transform of interference and total received power. The derivation of Laplace transform expressions for interference and total received power is one of the main contributions of our paper. These expressions can also be used to derive some other performance metrics like average ergodic rate.
The key insight that enables our analysis is the following result. The resulting point process, when a PCP is conditioned on its parent process, is an inhomogeneous PPP with density given by equation 8. The value of density function at any x is given by m bar times the sum of conditional probability density f of x given z for all parent point z. We first condition interference I and total received power p on xi k2 and derive their conditional Laplace transform. Xi k2 here denotes the set of all parent processes corresponding to the base station process in tier 2. The insight we discussed earlier can be applied here to conclude that for any base station process k in tier 2, phi k given xi k2 is an inhomogeneous PPP. This enables us to use results corresponding to PPP like the probability generating functional PGFL and the sum product functional SPFL during the analysis of conditional Laplace transform. Further, since we assume the conditional independence of UVs and base station processes, the expression for conditional Laplace transform that we derive is same regardless of whether the typical user belongs to T1 or T2. The difference with user type arises when we average the conditional Laplace transform over the parent process to obtain the unconditional Laplace transform. Depending on the type of user process, we have two scenarios. In case of T1 users, the distribution is characterized by independent PPPs, so selecting a typical user would not bias the base station process phi q. Now consider the setup of T2 users. In this figure, the cluster to which the typical user belongs is denoted as chi z0 and is termed as the representative cluster. In case of T2 users, the selection of typical user affects the base station distribution of phi q. This is due to Sivanak's theorem, which states that the Palm version of phi q will be equivalent to an superposition of an independent copy of phi q and the set z0 plus chi z0, which is the cluster containing the typical user. The parent process of the resulting point process would be the union of psi q and z0. The expression of PGFL and SPFL are modified for T2 users. Conditioned on uq, the PGFL of xi q is expressed in equation 9. The second term is the conventional PGFL, which gets multiplied by the extra factor, which is expected value of mu of z0. Similarly, in SPFL, there are extra factors due to the inclusion of z0. The conditional Laplace transform of total received power p is given by equation 10. The term Ti can be interpreted as Laplace transform of the sum power from the cluster belonging to the ith tier in K2 and with center at distance z. Ei of s can be interpreted as the Laplace transform of the sum power from the ith tier in K1. Similarly, conditional Laplace transform of interference I is given by equation 11. Let us compare the term dj in this slide to di in the previous slide. The only difference is that the lower limit 0 in the previous slide is replaced by Pji bar times R, where Pji bar is the ratio of the transmit power of the jth and the ith tire raised to the power 1 by alpha. This difference arises because of the association rule of maximum average received power discussed earlier. All interfering base stations can be considered to lie outside the ball of radius Pgi bar times R, hence this change in the integration limits. After deconditioning these expressions over the parent PPP, we derive the unconditional Laplace transform on the interference for T1 users in equation 12 and the unconditional Laplace transform of power for T1 users in equation 14. Spectral efficiency for typical T1 user can be derived by substituting these expressions in Harmony's lemma discussed earlier. Similarly, the unconditional Laplace transform of interference for T2 users is given in equation 15 using the modified definition of SPFL and PGFL. The Laplace transform of power for T2 users is given in equation 16. Spectral efficiency for a typical T2 user can be derived by substituting these expressions for unconditional Laplace transform for power and interference in Harmony's lemma. We now present our numerical results. We first validate the expression of Laplace transform of power and interference by comparing the analytic results with Monte Carlo simulated results. For the purpose of simulations, we consider a two-tier network with first tier as PPP and second tier as Thomas cluster process, which is a special case of PCB. First tier is sparsely deployed and second tier is densely deployed. The base stations in second tier have low transmit power. We take this power as 1 by 1000 times the transmit power of base stations in tier 1. Note that when the noise is negligible, our expressions become invariant of the actual values of the transmit power and depend only on the ratio. This can be easily observed by substituting P equal to K times P and S equal to S by K in Harmony's lemma expression. In this figure, the Monte Carlo simulation is shown via discrete markers while theoretical expressions are plotted using solid lines. As you can observe, the Monte Carlo and the theoretical expression plots overlap, which shows that the derived results are highly accurate. From this figure, we observe that the Laplace transform of total power or interference for T2 users is smaller than that of T1 users, which is due to the fact that T2 users experience more signal power from the base stations due to their proximity to the small tier base stations owing to the clustering. We now investigate the impact of clustering on the spectral efficiency. We consider the Manhattan cluster process discussed earlier as the second tier in a two-tier HETnet. We also compute the spectral efficiency for a baseline HETnet with both tiers as PPP, where the second tier density is same as the average density of the MCP tier, that is m bar times lambda P2. We observe that the SE of T2 users decreases with cluster size and approaches the SE of a baseline PPP, whereas the SE of T1 users increases with cluster size and approaches the same limit but from the lower side. In T2 users, due to spatial coupling between phi1 and phi2, the candidates having base station of phi1 is more likely to belong to the representative cluster, and as the cluster size increases, this candidates having base station moves farther away from the user on average. On the other hand, for T1, as cluster size increases, the base station of phi1 on average lie closer to the typical user. A key takeaway is that deployment should be according to the user distribution. Example, clustered base stations should only be deployed when the users are themselves clustered. Next, we compare the MCP Manhattan cluster process and TCP Thomas cluster process deployment separately for T1 and T2 users. For T1 users, the SE of TCP based network is greater than that of MCP based network. This is because MCP has finite support, that is, base stations of a cluster are distributed only in a finite ball around the center, which is not favorable for T1 users who do not form any clusters. For T2 users, the SE of MCP based network is greater than that of TCP based network. This is because both users and base stations of a cluster are forced to lie in the same finite region in MCP based network.